Good evening, everybody. Well, dang it, I did it again. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lorcanarama. I got to drop the whole evening thing because, like, if somebody's listening to, the YouTube in the morning, it's just like, okay. All righty. We're here. We made it. Tuesday night, and we're on. And Sabrina, how's it going?
I'm good. We made it through another week, had a good weekend, spent some time in the city,
All
ready
right.
for the new set now.
All right. So the cards have been revealed. Did you do any play testing this weekend with proxies or anything? I didn't say that word out loud. Don't worry. So
I did not. As a matter of fact, this was the 1 year anniversary of Toronto, which means the 1 year anniversary of
ooh.
my engagement.
Oh, that's
So
right.
we
Hey,
spent some one-on-one time not playing or talking about Lorcana.
so if you guys want to know all about that, check out our last episode because that's what that was about, right? So,
Yes.
all right. So tonight we have with us as a special guest, Mr. Scott Landis from the Forbidden Mountains. Scott, welcome to Lorcanarama.
Thanks for having me. I love being here.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. So, all right, before we get going, all right, I get to have my fanboy moment. All right. So I have been waiting for this episode since before I started the podcast because I made a comment that said, if I ever do a podcast, Scott Landis would be my first guest. Now, I did not fulfill that, but you're here.
I'm here.
You're here. And the reason being, what's that? Better late than never? That's right. That is right. So the reason I wanted Scott on is, and I've made this comment to him when I've seen him at DLCs, and jokingly, he is the first face of Lorcana for me because when I went to research Lorcana content, it was him and Dan. That was it. That was all I could find at the time. And those two were on screen talking about it before it even came out. And, I made sure I called it every episode at a time because that was it. And so he is the first face of Lorcana to me. To me, this is a milestone episode. My first one, the one that Sabrina came on that changed the direction of the podcast, having Dan as a thank you for his influence, and now you. So I got two more people to get on here, and I can quit. So
I appreciate it.
That was not the agreement.
So for those of you who are joining us in the chat, thank you for tuning in with us this evening. Feel free to drop your comments in. If you haven't already clicked that follow button to follow us, please do so. We're trying to get, hey, we're kind of like inching up that followers list, the amount of followers. We're almost to 100, which I thought, like, if I made it to 10, that was great. But man, a fella can dream, right? so anyways, so tonight, before we get started, digging into things, I gotta give a shout out to my people at Matified. While they don't sponsor us, right, we're in cahoots with them in a way. They've given us mat to give away, which we haven't quite done yet. We're gonna work on that. We're gonna come up with some type of plan for PPG events Denver for that Pro Play Summit Denver. But anyways, if you've not seen the work they do, please go to matified.com, check out their work. Their mats are all around. People love those things. So anyways, there we go. So tonight we asked Scott to come on because, well, we want to talk some Disney finance, Disney Lorcana finance. And Scott has a guide up, and I'm going to switch up and show folks that guide real quick. There we go on Metify.gg. The Forbidden Mountain has a Metify site. So if you've not been on there, go there. You got some great guides on there. And Scott has one on finances for Lorcana finances. So I figured this is the best time to get it, right? Because we're coming up on rotation, not only a new set, but a first ever rotation in Lorcana. So your initial thoughts on that, Scott?
I mean, I'm heavily in favor of it. From a finance perspective, it's doing crazy things to the Lorcana singles market. The entire market itself is probably up about like 15 to 30%, depending on what you're looking at, and everything that's being reprinted flies off the shelves. Stuff that isn't being reprinted is still flying off the shelves. So like, it is crazy. People are definitely excited to play rotation and definitely excited to basically play I guess in their minds, like a whole new game, because it seems like there's a lot of people that are like coming out of the woodwork and just like ordering all kinds of cards across the board. But like some of those singles that are being reprinted, shocking to me, are just like are way up in price, like easily up like 20 to 30%.
I think, and I'm not going to give out too much of your guide because I'd
Yeah.
rather people go and buy that thing.
Yeah.
but you know, you talk about the spike of Hades in there, you know,
Yep.
and like it makes no sense, right? Because it's being reprinted, so there should be more, right? So the price should go down, but it's still going up.
Yeah, I mean, what I have found about Lorcana compared to any other TCG that I've played in the past is like the collector market and the like alternate arts, or like if it has a promo symbol on it, or like the littlest little change, like people want every version of a card they can possibly get.
Yeah.
And like if they have it in their mind that like I want to play with a chapter 1 Hades, or I want to play with a Rise of the Floodborn, Strength of a Raging Fire, like they're gonna spend the extra money now to get it,
Yep.
to have it in time, like for day one of Fable, and they don't care that it's being reprinted. I can't explain it because I do believe like 3-4 weeks from now that the price will go down, but people are scrambling to buy them now. I can't fathom it, but because I really like you said, like I was expecting with a known amount of like more Hades and stuff like that entering the marketplace that like the price was going to come down and like just wait a little bit, but the FOMO is real for Lorcana fans, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. You know, from the game that shall not be named, you know, from when I would play that game, you know, I always liked to play. There was something to be said for being like that old school guy that rips out the, you know, the 93, 94 version of the cards and plays them and stuff like that. And Lorcana doesn't, I guess this is their first like taste of that, even though their art hasn't really changed. All that's really changed is the little number on the bottom of the card, with the exception there's a couple errated cards that caught up, like Moana. They changed her to read a little more clearly. The one that whenever you quest with her, you can ready all your princess characters and they don't quest for the rest of the turn. But I think they changed that wording to be a little more clear, because it used to be you couldn't have two Moanas on the board. Yeah. You couldn't have two Moanas on the board. It was they just canceled each other out. So it was just, yeah. But
yeah, a couple cards have different flavor text and things like that. But again, like
that's interesting. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, John Silver has like different flavor text, the 3-drop one, and I think a couple other cards might too. I haven't really dove into it, but
yeah,
I know that I've heard there are some out there.
Go ahead, Sabrina. Were you about to say something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just wondering if, knowing how Lorcana operates, if those changes to flavor text are like predicting a new set or something.
All I know is that the John Silver added one of those rules of villainy, and people are excited by that. I don't think there's any like this set doesn't seem connected to their larger story, so it's hard to say.
Yeah.
So
Oh, they added honey to poo this time, didn't they? Isn't that one of the other changes that we caught?
Which I guess implies that in the future there'll be some kind of something that matters with that.
There'll be more honeys.
Yes.
Or at least the option. At least the option of something. Yeah, more honeys. Yeah, let me play all my honeys.
Yeah. So
my daughter would love that. That's one of her favorite words. So,
nice. Oh, that's so cute.
I have her playing all her honeys. That would be great. So yeah, I think that so my big thing. So of course, the thing that excites me the most about the rotation, other than there's two aspects to it, right? There's the how does it change the play format, the competitive environment, right? Because the influx and the change of cards, you know, addition by subtraction in this case, with the exception of the 33 new ones. But then you switch over and you go to the collector side, and it's like they're running parallel with one another now, right? Because they've got the new rarities. You know, they've got that, and of course there's speculation with how rare they're going to be, and then they've announced, of course, the promos that are going to come out for set champs and for the challenges. And I'll tell you what, I have not shown it to my daughter yet, but like I got a ticket for Milwaukee and I'm going to do whatever I can to walk out of there with mine or somebody else's Elsa. So,
Yeah.
it's
I like the somebody else's caveat immediately. Mine or someone else's.
That's right. Hey, you know what? I have found at my age where I'm at now, I have that competitive fire, but we've talked about it before. I don't need it. It wakes up bad stuff in my personality. But not only that, I have like these cognitive glitches that have no explanation other than the fact that I'm over 50 now. And so that's all I can say. And so I'm not as sharp as some of those other cats that I'm playing against. So I accept that fact and realize that, I could make day 2 if I were about 10 years younger, I think. But so, I mean,
That's
I got the wisdom
goal
there for it.
this DLC season. Make a day 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great. If I made it, oh, good gracious almighty. I'd pass out. I'd probably
That's what I think would happen to me.
I remember when Scott made it in Atlanta. I was there talking to Dan, and Scott came over and just was all excited, and I had to just back up and let you guys have your moment. That was I was an outsider looking in at that point, but that was great to see. That's one of my precious memories of Lorcana Pass was to be able to see you guys celebrate that. That was pretty cool.
That was like the highlight of the season for me. I know it happened in the first one, but like it was good to get that out of the way and then like coast the rest of the season. So
Right.
I felt like it was accomplished at that point. But so I should have had the fire for more events, but that was a good accomplishment in my like having come back for, making it day 2 in so many years of playing card games. It had been like 5 years since I really traveled for card games pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So it felt good for the first time to make it in Atlanta.
Atlanta was the first time I ever like traveled and played in an event. Like that was my like breaking into competitive. Like I'm either gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it. And I knew going into that weekend that like I was either then traveling to events all the time and this was the new thing I was doing, or I like that done. Please don't ever bring me again, Toby.
Yeah.
Turns out I like them.
That was a huge event. Like when I walked in there, I knew that like I guess I knew how many people were going to be in the event, but I wasn't aware of how many people were going to be like
there
also just hanging out.
Yeah.
And it was like that's when I knew the game had made it. And it wasn't just because we had tournaments. It was like we made it like as a gaming community, and I was confident in like the future of the game from that event more than the Gen Cons, more than the PAXs, like more than anything else. Like that event, like really like I was shocked. And from a size perspective, like Chicago was next, and it was like a step down. Even Toronto wasn't as big, and it was like
right.
I don't know. For me, for some reason, Atlanta was just like that. Just felt like the game had made it at that point. I know it made it through the other ones, but like the 2,000 people and then like 2,000 spectators and like other people just hanging out. I just felt like it was like, and it was just for Lorcana. And for what really set it up for me was like the amount of like dealers that had Lorcana only. And I was like, wow, like, obviously having been to other games for years, like that was very obvious in other games, but I had never seen it in this type of game. And it just like, I was like, wow, it's not just like the community that cares, like it's the singles dealers that care, and like they're here to make money off the game and they know it's going to be successful. So like to me, I just felt like everything about the game was going to be successful, and I knew that like I was all in at that point. Not that I wasn't all in already, but like I was like obviously all in.
It solidified it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for me. I went there. I've recounted the story on here several times, so I won't go into all the details of it. But I went there to support my friends, and when I saw the community, I knew I wanted to continue being part of it. But like I said, I have no desire to play competitively. Not that I can't. The desire and the fire is not there anymore. And so I was like, well, how do I stay part of it? And that's why I went to judging, and I have so much fun doing that. And you get to continue in that capacity. And still get to hang out and meet people and talk to them. And, from the content creators down to the person who this is their first event. Nobody knows. I enjoy the conversations with every single person in this community because people are fun to talk to. I love people, period. But the people in this community are pretty doggone fun to talk to sometimes. And I've seen it all. At the scorer's table, I have seen it all. So, yeah, I have stories. I'll tell them off the air if you ever want to hear them.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I want to highlight something else before we go on. And, and that is the fact, since we're talking about competitive play right now, Pro Play Summit Denver, is going to be coming up, next month. And let me get this up here, September 12th through 14th. So there is still time to register for that. So if you've not done that, please do so. I would encourage you to come. It is at a great resort. It's put on by PPG Events, who did the DLCs last year, so they know how to run an event. I'll be there as the head scorekeeper, so you can come up to the desk and say hi to me. And we will be doing a giveaway. We just haven't figured out exactly how we want to do it yet. We've been tossing around the idea, and I think I like the one we talked about last week. So we'll see. I'll talk to Sabrina about it. But yeah, we want to give away this Matified mat probably at Pro Play Summit Denver to somebody. And so yeah, so stay tuned to our stream for that. But anyways, yeah, if you don't know about this event, we're going to pretend there's not other stuff besides Lorcana. So we're just going to go to Lorcana stuff. That's all I want right now. Prizes in the cash range, or, you can get product out of it. I mean, just they have you can talk to them about it if you win it. So, but I can tell you, when I went to the one in Texas, it had a DLC feel to it. It was, and even though it was smaller, don't get me wrong, it wasn't 2,000 people, but I'd liken it to Toronto Light, honestly, is what I would liken it to. And it was really good. And what I like about it, and what they're doing again this time, was the fact that they had production, the stream production for it.
Yep.
Which was really, really, really cool. And we all know who did that. And if you don't, you need to go back and find out. So yeah. So 3 days of events, and I'm looking forward to it because it's, of course, it's after rotation. So yeah. I don't know that it's the first big event after rotation, but it is a big event after rotation. So,
yeah.
Anywho, there's that. And so let's go back to the finances, Scott, because I have some questions for you. So regarding if I'm somebody new, right, and I'm looking at collecting, paying for the game, let's just call it that. And I can't go to the big events. We all know that's one way to pay for them, right? Is to go to the big events and get those promos and stuff. But out of this set, what's the best way, in your opinion, to let the game pay for itself? If I'm looking at just sealed product, and whether or not I open it, what should I go for? What should I trade for? Because we get a lot of new folks that get taken advantage of, and sometimes I step in and stop that from happening. But so what would your advice be to them?
So in Fabled, I really believe. So I believe the idea of Fabled is that it's the closest thing to like a collector's based set that they're having. So if you're just there to collect the cards to play with, and let's just say that you don't have a full collection now, so the reprints actually mean something to you. If the reprints mean something to you, I would just buy boxes and then trade or sell off the epics, the awesome enchanteds, and if you get really good foils, or if you get, if God forbid you get an iconic or something like that, you can make back your money with getting selling off your epics, selling off your extra foils and things like that. And if you need the cards that are reprinted, like if you just don't have a huge collection and like some of these cards you actually need, especially the legendaries and things like that, I think there's money in buying the boxes if you can get them under like $120 a box from your local game store or anything like that. I also believe, as a pure collector, I believe this is going to be the first set since the first chapter where the boxes in the long run will actually go up in price. So if you are just a pure collector, like, and you want to just hold some boxes for like 6 months to 9 months to a year, I do think that Fabled will go up in value because of how collectors like forward the set is. If you only need the new cards, however, I wouldn't buy boxes. Like if you only need the 33 new cards because you have like 4 of all the cards that already exist and things like that, it's going to be tough to make your money back unless you basically buy like multiple cases, in all fairness, because you really can't beat the math of, like, if you buy a box and every box has like 5 legendaries, there's a good chance that like you might get 3 new ones and 2 reprints, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, it's like, if you don't need the reprints, like it's going to be tough if you're not a reseller or something like that to like move those, unless you're moving them to somebody like me that sells cards, like, and you're not going to make back as much money. So like in order to beat the math, you have to buy so many cards to like fill out your collection of all the legendaries you're going to need, even all the super rares and rares and stuff like that, of all the new cards, because the new cards are going to be expensive because there isn't going to be a lot that's going to be open for those reasons. So
Yep.
like, in my opinion, if you don't need the reprints, like you have to buy such a quantity of boxes to like break even on the same exact thing. Where like selling off the epics, selling off the foils, etc. But if you don't want to have to buy all those legendaries that you're going to need, you're going to have to open a ton of product, and it's going to be tough. It's not an easy set to collect as a player. I'm not going to lie. It's just the math of it's going to be tough.
Yeah, my thoughts were that those legendaries from the new cards and even the super rares, I almost feel like they're going to be twice the price that a normal legendary and super rare are going to be, mainly because of that very thing you're talking about. Folks are just not going to open the product and instead try to get them as singles, which is going to drive up the market for them, and especially the foil versions of them. Great gracious. I collect the foil. I have a foil of every set up to this point, a complete foil set of every set. And that's just my thing, right? And I'm going to give them to my daughter when she goes to college. She can do what she wants with them. But I like it. This one, I'm like, this one's going to hurt, isn't it? That's what I told myself. This one's going to hurt. So especially unless I pull them. Yeah, unless I pull it. And it's like you said, I got to beat the math. The chances of beating that math, you don't beat math.
Yeah,
so
it's hard.
Go ahead, Sabrina.
Question that I think I know the answer to.
Yep.
No.
All of the cards, so like the 33 new ones and all of the reprints are going to have the same distribution rate, right? Like you're not more or you're more likely to get reprints because there's more of them. But that's the only reason, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what
luckily the legendaries are half and half.
Yeah.
Right, which does make that easier.
So technically, like, I've seen boxes that have already been opened from some content creators, and like there's no pattern. Like it's like 3 of a new one, 2 of an old one. It's tough to tell because they open all their product at the same time. But like it seems like you're just as likely to get a reprint as you are to get a new legendary, for example, that I've seen.
We have a question in chat for you, Scott.
Sure.
What is your favorite enchanted card this set? And by this set, it Fabled.
So I think the look of it, I like Circle of Life because I have
so pretty.
I have a big connection to that. One time we went to a dog show, and I brought my dogs with me, and like as soon as we walked in, like one of the booths was just playing Circle of Life, so I just took one of my dogs and like lifted him up like like they lifted up Simba. So
please say you got a picture of that.
I wish I did, but like,
oh man,
I don't know where it is, or we didn't take a picture at the time, and it was just so spontaneous. So like, that just means a lot to me. So I'm gonna definitely try to get that enchanted. But what I do like about the set also, so I had one to collect. I would definitely get Circle of Life, but like there are so many playable cards that are enchanted in this set. It's such a good move. Obviously, a lot of it is because they enchanted a lot of the new cards, but man, this is the best set of enchantments I've seen so far. Like, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree. Real
Like,
quick, we just got rated, so I want to thank
no,
Gaten Call for rating us. Like we rarely get rated, right? We've been rated like twice. So hey, welcome to Lorcanarama. For those of you who just popped in, we're glad to have you. Feel free to drop any discussion in the chat. We're talking with Scott Landis of the Forbidden Mountain about the Lorcana finances for Disney Lorcana and Fabled. So and feel free to follow us. We appreciate you being here. So thanks a lot there, Gaten Call. From France. I won't say that. That's my favorite country in the world. Even above my own. So I wish I could live there. So, oh man. Now you just lost me for a moment. I'm sorry. So the second part of that question is, aside from your favorite enchanted in the set, is what card do you wish got reprinted?
what do I wish got reprinted? I wish the Tragic Hero Beast got reprinted.
That's a good one. I haven't heard
Yeah,
anybody say that.
because to me it was like fair. Like you had to actually work. You had to keep him like
Yeah.
undamaged to draw the extra cards. Like it was always kind of like a mini game. Like, am I gonna draw cards with him? Am I gonna challenge with him? Like he can do everything. And like I felt like when he first came out, he saw a lot of play during Inklands. He saw a lot of play during the first 4 sets. He saw a lot of play, but then he kind of like fell off for a while,
Yeah.
and he finally got back into it. Like literally, like almost like this set where he's been in a lot of Amber Steel decks and things like that. So he's had like a weird trajectory,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was finally like recognized as like what he could do, and then he gets cut off at the knees, and I'm not sure that by the time Infinity rolls around again, if he's going to see play there, just because he could be outclassed for what he does. Like
Yeah.
it's to me, he's not like completely broken or anything like that. So I felt like he was very fair. So, and I like the mini game that he set up and things like that. So I kind of wish he was reprinted, because I think he's like an interesting, like I said, like mini game like type card.
Yeah, that's fair. And you know what? It's not like he's got a shift target to make him unfair.
Yeah.
So, that went with him in Morph. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Sabrina, do you have a favorite enchanted from the set?
What are the ones that aren't enchanted? They're like the old set ones.
The epics.
The epics. I have a favorite epic. I love the Pooh Honey Wizard.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
That's like my holy grail this set. I need one of them. I'm just hoping to open it rather than buy it.
I just found out today that they're embossed too, the epics.
Oh,
Which I wasn't aware of
ooh.
until I saw a content creator put a video, like a photo of them. I think Katie put one up where she had like a what's it called? Be King Undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
And when she showed it like and moved it on the camera with the light, you can tell that like the scar is embossed like the legendaries.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty neat.
That sounds really cool.
That's
I'm
pretty
even
neat.
more excited for those now. So add more collector value to the whole thing.
Yeah. My guess is I tried to, based on what they said, it's going to be more frequent than an enchanted, but less frequent than legendaries. My guess is you'll probably end up with one a box.
That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, that's my guess. I haven't seen any boxes been opened yet to see if that's true, but I could go and track that down and find out. But that's my guess. So
yeah, that's been my guess as well. I mean, the enchanteds, we pretty much hit about one per case. Occasionally, like we'll get lucky and get 2 per case, but like it's been pretty much 1 per case on those, without fail. So it'll be exciting to see this as well.
So
I questionably have a hot take.
Sure.
Why did we have to make another special Stitch? Could we go one set where we printed a Stitch that we didn't have to make something special? please.
He's so popular. He's so
Yeah, I
popular.
know. It's like Stitch and
It's like
Elsa,
the
right?
one character
Yeah.
that I don't buy into. Like, I've seen
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch. It's fine. I don't understand the hype, and I'm so tired of all of these special Stitches.
I'm convinced that 50% of the Lorcana folks out there that care about characters either like Stitch or Lorcana, and the other 50% are the rest of the characters. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
so
Yes.
it's those two. So,
Yes.
real quick in chat, unless you, I don't know if you see it, Scott, your
No, no.
teammates at TFM, you don't have to answer this question because I'm going to answer it for you, right? They want to know who your favorite member of TFM is. So wait a minute. Before I'm going to bail you out here, right? I've answered this question already, and I've told it to Dan. I told him, I said, I like you guys, but Scott's my favorite.
I appreciate it.
So yeah. So you guys got your answer there from me. So, you know.
Kylie is very adamant that it's Kylie.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I'll leave that to you guys to sort out.
Thanks.
So, yeah, you know, I think it's a good question from Kylie. You know, we've talked about this a little bit on the podcast when we were talking about the cards, and we'll save some of this too. We'll do it next week. Sabrina and I'll probably talk about the new stuff. But of course, you know, my card that I wish the guy reprinted is that Joker right there. Ring the bell. I can never have enough of that card. It's my favorite card. It just catches so many people off guard. I love it. It's will always be my favorite Lorcana card. Number 2 is Curse Merfolk, and I got that one back, and even got it back as a promo card.
Yeah.
So
excited about
so
that.
that's even better. So yeah. So I have another question too, and this is a pure speculation question. So you get the promo Elsa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get from the DLCs, and you get the iconic Mickeys. Which one do you think is going to hold value the best? Because
So
we're
are we talking
speculating.
foil Elsa, or we're talking foil, right?
Oh
Not
yeah,
non-foil.
the non-foil. Let's just let's not even count that one. But yeah,
I mean,
the foil one. Yeah.
I think the DLC promos will be hotter.
Okay.
Because I mean, so it depends. So Fabled, just like Fabled, the distribution is going to be not good. I can tell you that right now. Like, I've seen a lot of things online. I haven't heard directly from my distributor, but like I've heard that like it's not going to be as good. Allocations are not as good. So there's a chance that down the line, I don't know how they would handle this, but like, you know, would they reprint Fabled, and would it have different cards, would have the same cards? Like, who knows? But like, I don't know how that's going to work. If it's like any other collector set in other games, they won't reprint it, and then it'll be extremely short printed. But the thing with the Elsa is, it's Elsa. So like, you automatically have an Elsa tax that's associated with anything. There's always an Elsa on attack. And I just think that card with the art and all just like looks really nice, and like it, because it's the top prize at, you know, before you hit Golden Mickey at the DLCs.
Mhm.
Like, I think it's just gonna have tremendous value, and like I do think that like people that like graded cards are gonna want that like so badly. So I think in the
Yeah.
long run that'll be hotter because you can't get out of a pack, so you have to earn it. So
I gotta get some money. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's a beautiful card. I could take some maybe my daughter won't realize there's a shiny version of it, and I can maybe get the non-shiny version and come home and yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. She has a deck, by the way, that's nothing but, hold on. Well, I'm not gonna get it. It's all Elsa and Anna, but it's like it's got the enchanted Elsa in it. It's got I'm about to put this baby in it right here. You know, and so every enchanted frozen card or alternate art frozen card that has existed is in that deck along with the regular version. Her deck is more expensive than any of my decks, and
yeah.
you know, it is great. The one card I don't have is Elsa's Ice Palace that was given out at Worlds. Was it Worlds or whatever? Who plays it anyway? But my daughter would, you know. But you know, and so maybe one day that'll land in my lap, you know. But that's it. I don't collect any of them for myself anymore. It's just for her. So, but
Keep my eyes out.
that if I don't get it, it's fine. As long as she doesn't see it, I'm okay. I'm in the clear. I can't ever let her see the picture of it. That's what gets me in trouble. So
Girl is never going to be allowed to use the internet. She's young now, but in a couple years, it's going to be a dangerous game for you, Kelsey.
I know, right? When she gets, I've always said I wanted this. I'm doing this so that she can enjoy the DLCs, right? When she gets old enough, and she's gonna go and see that card one day at a DLC and be like, "How come I don't have this card?" And that's it. It's over for me at that point. It's just like, oh gosh, that's where the Elsa scares me because it'll be floating around out there, and she's gonna see it. So
I would just wait until like the third event of the season. They'll slowly go down, and then that'll be your time to jump on them.
I learned that from Atlanta. I watched the day that of Atlanta, how hot the non-foils were going, and I should have just sold mine at the time if I was smart, but I was so happy I had a couple of them. I was just like, heck no, I'm taking these home, and and then they came down drastically. So, and Cusco's and Baymaxes, they kind of got up there a little bit, but never really took off. But this Elsa, I think it's going to, people are going to be unloading them. Yeah.
Even the non-foil, I think, is probably going to be like, probably like 200, I would think, to start.
I think so too. I think that, I landed at about 250. So, that's, what's that?
The Elsa tax.
Yeah, right. Yep. So, do you have any epics that you kind of eyeball in this set that we should keep our eye on, that we should try to grab for, or foils? There's this whole generic, right? Like you always invest, you should always look to foils to invest or epics, but even within those, there are certain ones that really have a chance to kind of, like, just if you're not just a collector, we're talking on financial side here. So yeah.
So I do think that if I don't know what the price of them is going to be, because I don't know how like if it's one per box, it's really hard to say. But I do think the more playable the card is, the more it's going to be worth. So like, and as well, like any of the 33 new cards that are being reprinted in Epic that aren't available in Enchanted. So like I think the small max goof is one of them. Like I think like both of those power lines are going to be really, really hot. I would venture to guess that those two power lines that are epics are going to be the hottest ones. As well as like anything that's playable. So you have like Be King Undisputed. You have like I said, any of the max goofs and things like that. So anything that's like playable is going to have like a much higher tax, because it becomes the rarest version of that card, and that's what people love to play with. So I'd be looking for those, whatever's playable. But I also believe that I don't know how the prices are going to start, but I do believe in the long run they're going to be going, because as people, again, like if the distribution is as bad as people say, and there aren't as many of them out there, like once people start to want to buy them, they don't want to just play with one. Like they want to play with four, like that. So it's to me, like I really believe that the prices on all cards will start low, and eventually over time they'll rise, unless for some reason like the big box stores are flooded with the product, but it's going to be tough because you're going to pay retail for it. So so for the average person, like they'll just wind up paying retail for it. But I do believe that a lot of the epics and stuff will rise in value in the long run, especially the ones that are any one of those 33 new cards.
Yeah, I kind of looked at them. I figured I take my best guess at them, right? I figured that the low end ones would probably be $15 to $20. But the ones that like you said, that are going to be play sets, you're looking at probably upwards of $50, $60 a piece, probably is where I figured. And I'm like, do I want it? And I'm like, no. I mean, they're pretty. Don't get me wrong. I like them, and the collector in me wants everything, But there comes a point where you have to draw a line in the sand and realize that if you want to stay married and keep your family, you got to stop spending money on cards. And so,
That's fair. Yep.
and so I draw the line with these unless I do want to get that Elsa, of course. That's it, just for my daughter. But that's about it. So, and even then, there's a comparable one to that out there. So, but
Because when you open an enchanted, you're like, okay, it's one of 18 enchanteds. Like it
yep.
doesn't matter what I open an enchanted. But here it's like there's more than that. So like if I open an epic, it's still one of like whatever 35 or however many there are. Like it's
Mhm.
more than the enchanted. So like yes, there's more of them out there, but there's also more of them to collect, and more of them that are I quote playable like in that rarity set. So it's gonna be tough. Like
Yeah.
to get any like to get 4 of a specific one, they're just gonna fly off the shelves. Like the dealers are not gonna be able to keep them in stock because everybody's gonna want the same ones. So the price has to rise on them. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I like right now I'm sitting on, okay, am I going to get a case? Am I just what am I going to do? Because I bought a case for every set so far. And, and I'll tell you the thing that attracts me the most about getting the case this set, because I am going to rip it all open. I'm not even going to fool myself into thinking I'm not, is I think that, like you said, well, yeah, I do think that this chapter one Enchanted aside, they're kind of in a class of their own because they were the first ones and they were all,
Yeah.
they were all iconic, I believe, for the most part. And I believe they're fixing the issue that they left out. They picked the wrong Hades to make Enchanted in chapter one, and they got the right one this time, right? But I think that these are the strongest Enchanteds, and it's like I think that a lot of times you look at the enchanteds and like they'll range from like $40 to the high end $200 unless you get something like a Tomato or whatever, right? But I feel like this is going to lift that floor up for enchanteds. The floor is going to go a little bit higher for these. I think that I think that most of them look like they're going to fall in the $75 range, because they're so gorgeous and they all are pretty good. They're either collectible or they're playable, which is kind of neat with them,
Yeah, like the Lilo is like completely playable. The
Yeah.
Hades is obviously completely playable. Like Circle of Life is playable. Like Power Line is playable. Like you keep going and going and going, and like there's just so
Right.
many of them.
So. And there's one that I want for myself. Go ahead.
Yeah. Everyone wants 4 of them. Like that's the problem. So.
Yeah. The one enchanted I want is the Mickey, because that's my playmat.
Really?
Yes. That's my favorite Disney art, period. Like outside of Lorcana, I love Steamboat Willie. I don't know why, but when Lorcana made the card that combined color with black and white,
yeah,
like to me artistically, that brought out, like, I'm not an artist. My wife is involved in the art world and she got me into it. And there's certain things that I key on now that I didn't before. She made me a better person in that area, amongst other areas. But, it's, I do like that contrast of color in black and white. And so when they made that a play mat, I got Ryan Miller to sign it in Atlanta, which was great. I use it all the time and I just would love to have that enchanted. It's not playable. It's just gorgeous. Good gracious.
Yep.
It's and I hope that one's on the cheap end, but I don't think it's going to be. So yeah.
When it first got spoiled, people thought it was going to be like the hottest one. So I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard to say.
So many other good ones got spoiled since then. So maybe.
I think Hades will be the most expensive, but
which one? Hades?
Hades or Dumbo, I think will be the most expensive.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dumbo, that's the enchanted I'm excited about. I knew there was one of them.
Yep.
Dumbo, because I love elephants. I don't know that we've ever talked about my love for elephants on the show.
It came up in the last episode. I never got the chance to ask you, and I will ask you in the next episode about that. So
it's going to be upside down, but I
gotta know that answer.
I have an elephant tattoo. I wear an elephant bracelet most of the time. I have an elephant ring. I have statues of elephants. I love elephants. So I'm going to need that Dumbo enchanted too.
I almost got trampled by an elephant one time.
You probably don't love elephants.
It's fine. It was in the middle of the jungle, so it is what it is.
Wait. How did you find yourself in the middle of the
Yeah,
jungle?
you
Well, not
can't
the
just
jungle, I
drop
guess it
that and
was-
not tell the story. So I
I
gotta
guess
do
it
this now.
I guess it was the savannah. I bet. I guess it was in Africa on
Oh,
safari. And like
okay. Semantics,
tent.
right?
yeah, and like because we stayed in these tents and it just started rubbing itself like up against the poles of the tent. So like in the middle of the night. So like I guess if it would have gone a little further, it would have just trampled us. But it was kind of scary. So yeah. But they're generally fine. Mhm.
They're fine, except when they might kill you in the middle of
Yeah.
the savannah.
It was like right. It was like literally like if I'm looking outside the window of the tent, it's literally like 10 feet away.
See, and my character flaw, personality flaw as a human being is that I would go try to touch it. I'd be like, "Oh, he wants to be friends."
So cute. Gore you.
That's
Yeah.
how I would die.
Yeah.
You
That
can
wasn't
die.
that wasn't even this like there was a what was it like a buffalo of some sort, like a African buffalo of some sort. That thing was more aggressive than
That
the other
sounds
ones were.
scary.
Oh,
Yeah, that thing was more aggressive. So
yeah.
yeah,
I got charged by buffalo once in Yellowstone. It was scary.
Yeah.
It was a good thing there was a road sign there. I hung on to that and spun around at the time that he ran by me and down the little ditch. So my friend got it. The great part about it is I was with a friend and he got a picture of it, and he got a picture of me holding on to the sign and my feet in the air as I'm
That's
going
great.
around it, and the buffalo with his head down going right past me. And yeah, it was a great picture. It was a once in a lifetime picture, and it scared the life
Oh,
out
yeah.
of me. And the good thing
That's
was my bottom in the picture was my front was turned away, so you couldn't see the pee stain on my pants, from when it happened. So,
That's great.
but yeah. Life is great, right? So, all right. Real quick, we have to do a giveaway tonight, so I need to take care of business real quick before I forget. So last week, we gave out a Set Champs Jafar foil. This is the foil, right? We gave one out to to the person who dropped in our chat last week what my favorite card was, just to see if people were listening and paying attention to any of our podcasts. And we gave it away. We had a winner. So when I posted the YouTube video and let folks know that the video was up from last week, I put in the description that a way for you to win a second Jafar we were giving away. And the way that we're giving it away is we asked folks to put comments on the video. So let me pull that up real quick. Essentially just letting us know I was looking for some ideas to kind of spice up league play. So I just asked, hey, drop your ideas in here. Now, we're not this huge podcast, right? We just have fun, and we have more folks that listen to us, like they hang around, which is good. We haven't really blanketed anything, but we did get 3 comments on this. And we got the Illuminateers on here, which I'm pretty sure was Liam. We had somebody named Zach Fry, Kunkel, neat name, and then Ashton Roach, right? So we had 3 people on here who have a chance to win this. So I got to pick one of these at random, these comments, or we can read the comments and pick the one we like the most. So Scott, you're a guest with us. We're going to let you have part of this. Should we,
Sure.
Or Sabrina, let's debate this. Want to read the comments and pick what we think's the best one, or we want to just roll a dice and randomly pick one?
I would
Read the
just
comments.
go for it.
Oh, Scott says roll the die.
Roll the die.
I say read the comment, but
Oh, you
roll
say
the
read the
die.
comments.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, all right, we're going to read the comment. Yeah, that way. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. I didn't want to pick a favorite. I had to throw it out there. So the Illuminateers say there are all sorts of fun theme nights you could try, not only card types, but I heard of one league who did a night where all inkables were uninkable and vice versa.
Huh.
I like that. Now, they said also the Gantu challenge, and I asked, what's the Gantu challenge? I don't know. Does anybody know what the Gantu challenge is?
I think you just have to play with Gantu from the first chapter in your deck and make use of it or something like that.
That sounds miserable.
Yes. Yes. I do like the inkable unequal thing. That's interesting.
Is it like put it no matter what color you run, you just got to put that Gantu in your deck, you get to play it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right. Here we go. Zach Fry or Zach Free. I'm not sure how he wants us to pronounce it. Option 1, have a bunch of different constructed decks and maybe have players pick their deck like a draft where least league points picks first. To speed things up, they have to decide just by knowing the colors. Well, that's pretty neat. Option 2, players can build and bring a deck that their opponents must play. And likewise, they would have to play the deck their opponent builds. They would have to have a set parameter such as deck must have so many inkables, maybe a certain number of cards of each rarity. That's pretty neat ideals. I responded to that with a comment. We did I've always proposed, because we did this in Magic once. Oh, sorry, I said the name of the game. I mean, so all right, where you do a draft and you draft the worst deck possible because you're going to pass it to the person to your left. So
Yeah.
Oh my God. Our
that's
friend
always
group
fun.
was talking about doing that a couple weeks ago. They were having a debate about the game that shall not be named, and they were like, if we had somebody draft the worst deck possible, but then had the best player in an earpiece telling them how to play, we still think they could win. And I was like, this is what you guys are wasting your Friday night debating.
That's funny.
And then, of course, I got dragged into the debate to weigh in.
All right, last comment. Some of our older players keep little plastic bags with some bulk cards and some extra rares and super rares with maybe some trove dice, but we keep them around and give them to newer players. I also think the pre-league matches are great for community. Don't let people just sit around, try and play and practice some games. That's helped our community grow vastly. And that's pretty much what our group does right now. They just play casually, and every now and then they'll run an actual event on league night just to do it. So yeah, we were just looking for some new ideas. So thank you to everybody who dropped those comments in. So now we're going to find a die, and I don't have one available. Somebody got a die available they could roll for us? One within reach.
How do I not have a die within reach?
I know,
That's
right?
crazy.
I got lemon covered almonds around, and that won't help.
I can find one, but I don't know where they are.
Come on, somebody's got one.
Crap.
All right,
Looking, I
Dan.
literally don't. I'm shocked.
You know what? I hear you, Dan. All right. Your answer to everything is Google. I get it. All right. Not the first time you told me that.
Dan has all my dice. Sure.
All right. I'm going to do a random number generator then. Here we go. 1 to 3, right?
We're going top to bottom, 1 to 3.
Yes. Yes. Well, I was going to do a random number generator. All right. I got to be creative here. Hold on. Here we go. All right. We're going to use some Lorcana cards. There we go. See there? 1, 2, 3 ink cost, right? There we go. I'm going to shuffle these up and I'm pull one out at random. We're going to see who gets it. Here we go. Big bucks, no whammies. And our winner is going to be whatever one that is. 3, Ashton Roach. Congratulations. So, Ashton, if you can, this is yours. If you get in touch with me. And here. And if you don't, then I'm going to give it to whoever that one is. The Illuminateers. So Ashton, if you can, get in touch with me via Discord or post on here. Just some way for me to get in touch with you. Don't put your address up. That's bad juju publicly, right? So don't do that. Just get in touch with me, and we'll arrange for me to get this card to you. So, all right, we're getting pretty close to the end of our time, and so I don't want Scott to escape without a couple things here real quick. So I'm going to pull up in here. First of all, there it is. I got to show you the picture, right? So this is our picture from, I don't even remember where this was at. Where did we take this picture at, Scott? Was it in Pro Play Summit, Texas? Were you in Texas?
I'm pretty sure that was Texas.
Yeah. So
that was recent.
I'm going to say this, right? I've been to 5 DLCs. You, 1 as a player, 4 as a judge. You've been to 4 of those, and I never got my picture with you in all those times we talked. And
but we always talk. We
We
always
always
talk. Just
talk,
no
but I
pictures.
just never got a
Yeah.
picture. And so, the Pro Play Summit Texas I was like, look, man, I gotta get a picture. I just never thought to do it, yeah, there's our picture. I had to throw that in there.
Love it.
And then here we go. So what we do, I don't know if you've seen what we do on the stream with this, but I always, for a while I forgot to do it. Sabrina got on me for it, and I brought it back. I have a card that I'm going to pull up for you that does not have its rules text. And what you have to do is tell me what the rules text is. Now, before I do it, let me give everybody the background of this. So this is inspired. If you haven't heard this before, we played a game of Pack Rush with my friend, and I forgot my glasses, and I couldn't read the cards. And I thought I knew all the Lorcana cards until you start playing with some of the commons and uncommons that you never play with. And so I'd have to hold up cards. What does this do? It didn't help me that I'm showing him the cards in my hand, but I couldn't read them. And so yeah, I was like, well, it'd be kind of fun to try and guess the cards. So here we go, Scott. So for you, I'm going to get this. Let me see if I can move this joker along here. And bam, here we go. Here's your card. All Funned Out. And I picked this card for a reason. I'll tell you why. But let's see if you can guess it first. It is a 1-cost inkable blue action card. All Funned Out from set number 5. Scott, do you know what this card does?
I think it's like target character gets -1 strength or something this turn, I want to say. I know it's like something like that. I think it's that, but I'm not positive.
Tough one, right? You think it's tough to get these without the rules text, right? All right, so let's see. All right, so let's see how Scott did with this. Here we go. Put chosen character of yours into your inkwell, face down, and exert it. So this card made it into rotation. So it's hanging around. So I have a feeling.
Guy. That's right. Okay.
It's not unplayable. So, no, I picked this card because I can't remember which DLC it was. I think it might have been Vegas, but I remember seeing you, or Seattle. No, it was Toronto. It was when you signed the ring the bell for me. And I remember it was the one that Nunez was in the semifinal, was in the finals for. But yeah, I remember you in that room, and I caught you in there. I walked in there, saw you, and I just signed it, and you looked worn out, dude. So, you looked worn out.
So I'm Cusco with this.
Right. Yeah, you were all funned out. Your weekend was over.
Kelsey, I thought you were going somewhere else when you said Vegas at first. I thought we were about to get a Sabrina roasting for my rage quit after round 5, and then I'm pretty sure I looked just like that the rest of the event.
I'm not going to say I didn't think of that. I just wasn't going to put you out there like that again. So
honestly, I was waiting for Dan to say something about it, because every time I go to an event with Dan, he gives me so much crap for dropping when I O2.
That's funny. Yeah.
But I'm not going to O2 next time, so I'm not going to drop.
If you do it in Bologna, I'll tell you what, if you do it in Bologna, I'm going to disown you. So.
Somebody said that to me. They're like, you don't want to go all the way to Bologna and O2. If I O2 in Bologna, I'm still in Italy. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. There are worse places to O2 than Italy.
But that's kind of a precarious position to be in, right? Because like you're going there with Toby, right? Your fiance. So you O2, you drop. What are you going to do? You're in Italy. You shouldn't be hanging out in that place. I love Lorcana, but I'm going to go. And you tell me, you'd be like, he's going to want to stay, right? So that's kind of a precarious position to be in. I guess you'll be all right without him. Right?
Man. He can stay. I can go.
All right. I didn't mean to step into that minefield. I'm sorry. Let's just rewind this conversation and let's just forget I brought that up. So yeah, all right. It is your 1-year anniversary. I'll let it go. All righty. Well, this kind of brings us to the end of the night. Scott, thank you again. I probably could talk, for 2 more hours with you, because I didn't even get to touch all the questions I had for finances. You're always welcome back if you want to come. I appreciate it. And thanks for your time. It's, I just, you're, it's neat. I told Sabrina before, like when I see her at the DLCs, that's just kind of my thing. That's how we developed our friendship, was just, I saw her and we would just chat for maybe 5 minutes at the most, and then we go about and do our thing. And it's the same with you. It's like it's part of my DLC / Lorcana event ritual. Is like if I see Scott, I gotta just say hi. It's just good. I like it.
Yeah,
so
totally.
it's our thing. So Sabrina, any parting shots before we go?
Not for me, but I do want. Well, yeah, I guess so. I wanted to say Kylie dropped a link to an event for us
Yeah.
in the PA Jersey area that TFM is. You guys are hosting, right, Scott?
Yeah.
I don't want to use the wrong word.
Yeah.
So I would just suggest everyone to go check that out. I'll be there. Not that I'm as cool as TFM, but you are watching Lorcanarama, so I'll be there.
Yeah. So here's the link. I pulled it up and I got it on the stream. The link's in the chat, and it goes to this page right here. So there you go. Yeah, we'll throw that out there. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I meant to do that, and I closed everything down because my wife's in there cooking and I'm getting hungry. so Scott, any parting shots for you before we go?
No, thanks for having me on. I mean, if you want to talk finance anytime, I'll just hit me up anytime.
All right, that'd be cool. Yeah, maybe we make it a ritual each set. We might be able to have you on. So
yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Totally.
All right, thank you to everybody in chat who joined us. Thank you for the comments. I know you came here to see Scott. That's great, but hang around and see us next time. So we'll see you all next week, same time, same bat channel. So you all have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too. Have a good night.